Hello, QVSAP US History students. Well, this is it. We are going to wrap up Essential Unit 3. As I've explained before, this is one of the most important time periods in our study of US history, the period from 1754 to 1800, because not only does it mark the beginning of the country's independence, but it also marked the period when they experimented with two forms of government. Remember, we looked at the Articles of Confederation, and then you learned about the US Constitution, the form of government, or the system of government, I should say, that the country still operates under today. So I can't emphasize enough how important this time period is. That's why we spent a lot of time on this unit, but it is important for us to wrap this unit up. I would like to see you take the test by the end of this week. But before you do that, there are a few other items that you need to do in order to master the concepts in this unit. So I'm going to take you to the course page, show you around, and show you some of the features of the textbook even, so that you can be successful on this Essential Unit 3 test. Okay, so let's go to the course page and begin. Okay, so let me go ahead and scroll down to Essential Unit 3. So if we go down in the course page, here it is, I'll open it up. And let me take you through to the bottom of this week's activities. So last week you should have done the activities where you explored the presidencies of George Washington and John Adams, along with looking at Hamilton's economic policies for the United States. And now this week we're moving into the assessment period or week, okay? In the assessment week, I always have you do similar types of activities. You'll explore the themes, you'll analyze a document that's relative to the time period. There's an area where you can upload your notes for the unit, and then of course, the two different parts for the unit test. When you're doing this themes activity, and I'll go ahead and open it up for you. Essentially, what it is a sorting activity. So in AP US History, here's a little like a device for you to remember the different themes of spacemen, and they're outlined here for you. Essentially, every unit in AP US History, we can categorize different events or important features of the country's history between these different themes. Categorization is an important skill. It allows you to effectively present lots of information about lots of different events in the essays that you write in US history. And it also allows you to make connections from theme to theme based on different events that have occurred over time. So in this activity, if you go on to page 2, I've found some other like review video that you can listen to kind of like gain a stronger understanding of the events that occurred from 1754 to 1800. So you can go ahead and listen to this review video, but essentially the main part of this activity is at the end when you are going to sort different events among these different themes in AP US history. Now, I don't know if you noticed this feature in the textbook, but if I take you to the textbook, and I already moved ahead to part 3, which is the section that we are studying for this time period or this unit. So on in the textbook, if you scroll a little bit further down, you'll come to a page that looks like this. And this is where I've gotten the topics for these themes. Now you could see between the period from 1763 to 1800, there's lots of different events and features that have been categorized under the theme of work exchange and technology, peopling, politics and power, ideas, beliefs and culture, and identity. So you can essentially study this page, take a look, it's on page 203, and you can go back to this activity and do the sorting activity. And if you follow this note page, you'll be very successful in completing this activity for themes in AP US history. It's a real quick review, kind of get you thinking about some of the different features that will be presented to you on the unit test at the end of the week. You also have to pick a document to analyze. So if I take you to this activity here, you can see that there's access to lots of different documents. In fact, there are 18 different documents here. What you need to do is pick one of them, and you will find the documents on this website up in the resource section called Gilder Lehrman. So if you go to the Gilder Lehrman website, I'll show you where the documents are. And scroll down to the appropriate time period. So we're in period 3. And you'll see there's a nice timeline. And then there are the documents. Okay, so you're going to pick one of these documents to conduct an analysis of. Remember, when you do the analysis for the documents, the note-taking tool is up here in the resource section. Okay, so open up one of these worksheets, pick the document that you want to analyze, use the reading on that website to fill in the information on the worksheet, which helps you, which kind of walks you through an analysis of that document. And then before you take the test, upload your note sheet, the guided reading note sheet. Really the purpose of this note sheet up here, that is again in the note-taking area. The purpose of this note sheet is to give you like a condensed version of the textbook, because you'll see that the first few pages are an outline of the different chapters, but also like there are important vocabulary words on the note sheet that will help you prepare for the unit test. You need to make every effort to take the unit test by the end of the week. You can see that it is on the course page in 2 different parts. In part 1, you will be doing 40 stimulus-based multiple choice questions, and there will also be an SAQ for you to respond to. And then in part 2, you will respond to a prompt that will constitute an LEQ, a long essay question, and time is of the essence. In both of these tests, you will be set to a time limit or held to a time limit. So make sure that before you engage in these 2 tests, that you are prepared and ready to sit down in a quiet place, to have an hour or a half hour, depending on which part you're taking, to successfully complete it in its entirety. If you do not complete the test in the time allotted, then you are going to have to submit your score, and then you'll have to contact me if you're interested in or in need of an upgrade. So we want to try and avoid that. I want you to make every effort to be successful the first time. Of course, you will have multiple opportunities if needed, but try to be prepared for it ahead of time so that we don't have to resort to upgrading. Okay. Your goal is to take those 2 tests by the end of the week so that we can move on to Essential Unit 4 next week. And the goal in terms of the next unit, I would like to get Essential Unit 4 done before the winter break in December. So pacing is very important. Make sure that you make every effort to stick to the pacing that I set. I know for some of you that will mean that you're going to be working a lot on AP US history this week, and that's okay. Just make sure that you spend a couple hours every day, and you should be successful on that test and be able to move on to Essential Unit 4 next week. You are welcome to contact me anytime during the week if you want to talk about the unit. I can help you prepare. I am available on Skype or Zoom, so just send me a message and we can meet together sometime this week before you take the test. Have a good week. Bye.